my dears. My name is Joanna and I welcome you to Johanna Draconis, the Deconstruction of CPTSD podcast. In this episode, we will talk about helplessness, the cause for depression, and only about that angle. After we talked last week about the mechanisms of the trigger, we talked this time about the cause for depression. Basically, every depression. But I feel like understanding how it is connected makes things a bit more clear and better manageable. So, let us talk about it. Depressions are the worst. No doubt about it. They ruin everything. They make everything taste like nothing, take our energy, minimizes our pleasure, and kill our sex drive. And so much more. As if that wasn't bad enough, it also causes pain and suffering. I lived basically in a permanent depressive state from since as far as I could remember until about 3/4 of a year ago. And I am not missing it one single millisecond. If I could, I would remove them. I would, despite me knowing that sometimes depression is sadly an integral part of moving on or, for example, mourning. So, at very least, I try to help others to get it to an absolute minimum. But the different forms of depression we get to another time. This time, we focus only on the cause for them. As much it is true that each depression is caused by its own unique trigger, they all share the same reason why they cause a depression: the feeling of helplessness. As soon as you feel like you can't change anything about your situation and left at its mercy, you will get a depression. At least in theory. Maybe only a slight one, maybe a huge one. It depends, of course, on a lot of different factors, what shape it takes. And of course, it needs to be a significant part of your life. Not being able to pick ice cream because the ice cream machine broke usually doesn't do it. It is really fascinating, as depression is basically a biological self-destruction mechanism. I am not sure why we have it, but as soon as you're in a helpless position with no sight of escaping, you get it. This mechanism works if you feel stuck in your job, partnership, overall life situation, medical condition, and so on and so forth. Usually the situation doesn't appear that bad compared to the unknown other options. So, no reason to change something. And once depression sets in, it becomes even harder. And you are left with a feeling of helplessness, being stuck, a ball in the waves, and or the like. So how could you put this knowledge to good use? You can, for example, as soon as you feel depressed, look onto your position. Why could you feel helpless? Often this isn't something dramatic. More like feeling either stuck or seeing no way of changing things or being unable to move the strings that are attached to that thing or person who is causing all of this. So sometimes you actually can't change anything about your situation. Maybe a loss, or maybe something happened. We are rarely in full control of our lives. It is more like swimming in a river. We rarely can change life, but we can change our attitude towards the problem. Which I don't mean as in ignore your problems, they are just earthly things or anything the like. I mean we need sometimes see another angle. Like focusing on figuring out how and where to work after this job. But we go back to that in depth another time. This is just a baseline to help you aim for it. To show you the person behind the curtain. So you might get rid of your depression, or at least lessen it, because you know where to look for the source. As this not only help you aim for something, but it also makes you less helpless. Which I think is always a good thing. The tone of the news has shifted a lot in the last week. So I just wanted to ask, are you guys okay? The situation is not optimal in most nations, but I have to say the things we hear about the US clearly take the cake. I know that most of my listeners are from the US, and I am worried. The management of the crisis has been horrifically bad by the government, and I really am worried for everyone involved. I can't really express how happy I am and how important it is to me that we are taking patients from our neighboring countries. They are in need and we luckily have the capacities to help them. But the US is too far away. This is the time for solidarity and help, and thankfully most step up to this challenge. Like that some states form state units to handle this crisis better is encouraging. To everyone I can just say, please stay safe and take good care of yourself. As much as you can, and I really know how hard it is when you're suffering from PTSD, depression, and the like. Self-care is often difficult, to say the least, and it is hard to properly take care of yourself. But just try to do what you can. Everything is going to be alright. Just stay safe and watch yourself. That was it for today's episode. I hope you liked it. This was something. I had to change the topic midway because of the news in the world. I felt like I couldn't do the other topic anymore. And some other reasons. Sorry for the inconveniences. As usually, if you have any questions or feedback and the like, please let me know at contactme@johannadraconis.com. More information and transcript you can find as usually under johannadraconis.com/podcast. And links are in the description. I hope to see you next time. Wash yourself and have a wonderful time.